Hi, everyone, and may the fourth be with you. So, many of us are familiar with the movie franchise Star Wars. But what if I tell you that the battle between the light side and the dark side isn't just a movie plot, but a story some believe actually happened millions of years ago? Let's talk about that today. I'm Diane. I'm an Akashic Records reader and an emotional energy healer, and this is Soul Cloud. Hi, everyone. We're back for another episode of Soul Cloud. So, if it's your first time here, hello and welcome. If it's not, hello and welcome back. So, during the first part of Soul Cloud, we usually discuss certain topics, and the topic today is very much timely. I know that for most of the audience, it's still May 3 while this live is airing. But for me, it's already May 4. I'm from the future. I'm from the other side of the world. So, it's May 4 for me. So, may the 4th be with you. I thought it might be an interesting episode. I haven't really put out many galactic contents within this past year, actually. But if you know me for a while, you know that I work with the Galactics. And yeah, this is a very fascinating and interesting topic for me because it always comes up in the Akashic Records. So I want to share this today. But first, I want to say hi to the people who are here in the chat. First and foremost, Jax. Hi, Jax. Lovely to see you here. I hope you're doing well. Brina is here. Hi, Brina. Callio is here. Hi, Callie. And D Painless is here. Hi, D Painless. Judith Albay. Hi. Tiffany Teasdale. Hi. Laurie is here. Hello, Laurie. Ace Ace is also here. Sonia Claiborne is here. Traveling. Oh, safe travel, Sonia. And Rossi is here. Hi, Rossi. Rossi saying, may the fourth be with you and also with you. Yeah. So there are certain parallels between Star Wars and what we know of as the Orion Wars. So that's what we're talking about today. So if you're interested in getting a reading, because for the second part of the show, we will be drawing for people to read the Akashic Records for. These are mini readings, so it's not going to be a substitute for a longer one. But yeah, if you're interested to know about some things about your past lives or soul mission, you can type in hashtag Orion. That's the keyword for today to get you to the draw for readings. But first, hold on. There we go. And hello, Mona and Tina Bobina, and Mary Black is also here. May the Schwartz be with you, Jax. Yeah, this topic has been coming up from Akashic Records readings. Even though it's not like centered on the galactic side, this comes up a lot. And so I know that many of us in this community have had past lifetimes in Orion as starseeds, you know. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this today. And since it's May 4th, I think it's perfect. It's the timing's just perfect. So yeah, if you're interested in that, especially if you're watching the replay, I hope you stick around. And again, on the second part, I'll do Akashic Records readings live. If you're interested in getting a reading or getting an energy clearing, I also do energy clearings during the show. Yeah, type in hashtag Orion, and I'll draw them randomly. Okay. So welcome back again to Soul Cloud. I know this episode might seem a little unexpected, especially if you've only been a recent subscriber within the past year. But stay with me, okay? Stay with me. This gets interesting. So, for decades, I think Star Wars started in the 70s. And just a disclaimer, I don't own Star Wars. I'm not paid to do to advertise for them or anything. But this is just like a review to see and discuss about the parallels between spirituality and Star Wars, because I believe Star Wars is a deeply spiritual film, even though it's sci-fi. It's set a sci-fi. I think it's very spiritual. So for decades, Star Wars has captivated millions of people with its themes of galactic war, spiritual power, chosen destinies, empires, rebellions, and the constant battle between light and dark. And while most people see it as, science fiction, and to be clear, it is fiction, okay? There are people, especially within the spiritual community, who sees the parallels, me included. Um, some of these themes feel strangely familiar. And if you're someone who's watching this very interested in Star Wars, I hope you stick around because there's a reason why you're drawn to Star Wars. The question is, are you remembering something from your past that you see in Star Wars that you feel very familiar? Some of them are actually energetic memories from what we call the Orion Wars because it's very familiar. The scenes in Star Wars, whenever I look at in the Akashic Records and I see this looks like Star Wars, this must be Orion. It's that it's that similar for me. And if you're someone who's drawn to Star Wars, maybe it is also for you. So yeah, I hope this opens up your mind to that. But yeah, before we go in deeper, this episode is not claiming to be a historical fact. This is a spiritual discussion based on metaphysical beliefs, Akashic perspectives, which I have as an Akashic Records reader, and theories shared within the spiritual and the Starseed communities. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Today, I want to explore the parallels that people often point out, the Galactic Federation. So if it's your first time hearing about the Galactic Federation, yeah, it's kind of real for me. The interstellar conflict is another theme that comes up a lot. And the battle between the light and dark, or what we call battle between service to self versus service to others. That comes up a lot. And there are many people who carry energetic traumas because of the episodes that happened during the Orion Wars. And if you have a question about this, chatters, type it in the chat. I'll try to answer them as best I can with the knowledge that I have. So, yeah, perhaps the biggest question for this episode, do stories like Star Wars emerge purely from imagination? Or can art sometimes tap into collective memory? That's what we're going to talk about at. Yo, oh, one of my favorite galactic friends is here. Favorite galactic and human. Human friends is here. Hi, Paul. He's also very active in the galactics. So I'm happy that you're here, White Dragon. I'm talking about Orion Wars. So, if you're not familiar with the constellation, Orion is a constellation in the sky. It has three belt stars, and those three belt stars are the most peaceful part of Orion. Hold on. Let me just put this up. And again, if you're interested in getting a mini reading from me later during the second part, please type in hashtag Orion in the chat so that the giveaway tool can pick it up. And I'll draw randomly for those later. There we go. Oops. Ta-da. There we go. This is a picture or an illustration of Orion. So the three stars that looks like a line, that's the Orion's belt, also known as Alnilam, Alnitak, and Mintaka. So those three are the most peaceful part of Orion. And the rest of Orion were controlled by the Draconian Federation or the Orion Federation. So when you look into Star Wars, there's this empire, the Draconian Empire, not in Star Wars, but I mean the empire that's controlled by Darth Vader, by the evil people, the one with the red lightsabers. So it has parallels within between the empire in Star Wars and the Draconian Empire that used to control Orion. That's one of the things that keep coming up during Akashic Records readings for me. There's this constant battle between, the belt stars and the rest of Orion. Who are they battling? Who is the Draconian Empire battling? Most of the time, it's what we call the Black League Resistance. They're based in the belt stars, but they also go around. What I see from the Akashic Records is that there were many slaves. A theme of the Orion Wars during that time, there was a lot of people who were enslaved, and the Black League Resistance were the people who would free the slaves and thwart the empire's plans during that time. And a lot of people I read for, in privately, and sometimes even here on Soul Cloud during mini readings, still carry the trauma of that slavery, of being deprived of their freedom. And one of the challenges that they still carry to this time on Earth is reclaiming their freedom and, saying no, setting boundaries. Because during the time that they were enslaved, they weren't able to do that. They couldn't say no. They were just used to obeying. So if this feels familiar to you, that theme of not having your freedom, you might want to look into past lives into Orion. Maybe, just maybe. Especially if you're interested in Star Wars, maybe you've had past lifetimes in Orion. Yeah. Okay, White Dragon is saying, Diane, the Dracs are gone. We're currently dismantling the grip of their client races on the galactic people. Yes, this actually happened. The Orion Wars happened millions of Earth years ago. I'm not exactly sure how long it was. Things about higher dimensions. Time does not really exist there. So it's difficult to really know how long ago this happened. But the Draconian Empire, this has stopped. The wars have stopped in Orion, and it took the people, the Orion Collective, to do that. So another theme that usually comes up during readings about Orion starseeds is the choice between light and dark. There is always this constant battle that, okay, I need to choose between light and dark. And this is also reflected in Star Wars. Luke Skywalker was tempted by his own father, Anakin. Come to, like, Luke, I am your father. That iconic line. And being asked to join the dark side, that's not just movie for me. It reflects what a lot of Orion starseeds go through. Because they are used to being exposed to the darkness, it might be a challenge for some of them to come into Earth and transmute that dark into light. But they were able to do that in Orion. Have here on Earth is helping Earth transmute darkness into light. They are the masters of shadow work. Like, they don't shy away. I think I lagged there for a bit, but yeah, if you know that you've had a past lifetime in Orion, I think you know what I'm talking about. You don't shy into self discovery. You don't shy into shadow work. You don't shy into getting to know yourself because you know that That is the process of how you transmute darkness into light. You've already done that in Orion in the past. And it's kind of the same when I think about Star Wars as well with Darth Vader. You know, Anakin went from light to dark and then from dark to light again. During the past or during the last moments of his life, he made the choice to, go back into the light again. I think that's also a parallel that many Orion star seeds go through. And it's not easy. I don't feel like it's easy. Because again, you're so used to it that, you know, it's difficult to make the choice. And if you're resonating with this, let me know in the comments after the show, especially if you're watching the replay. I feel like I understand this because of the things that I see in the Akashic Records often. But I know also that there are people where this might not resonate with, especially those who didn't have past lifetimes in Orion. I only had one lifetime in Orion, and it was in the most peaceful part of it. I was in Mintaka, and it was just chill there compared to the rest of it. So yeah, it might not resonate for a lot, and that's okay. You don't have to make it fit. You don't have to make it resonate. But if it does for you, I'm curious to know, like, how it resonates for you, how Star Wars resonate for you. The Galactic Federation, the rebel forces, those are the people who were against the Draconian Empire in Star Wars. And there are also people like that I see in real life and what is real for me, that they fought the Draconian Empire back then in the past so that they can shift the darkness into light. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, White Dragon has a question. I wonder if most of the space Nazis that left were traveling to Orion. I know they were working for the Drax. Okay, let's ask. Because Orion right now is off the light. I know whenever I do Akashic Records readings, I often talk about chaos and war and all of that. But right now it's very peaceful because again, the Orion Collective chose to turn from the light side to from the dark side to the light because of free will. Some people who want to learn a lot more through being in the dark or being more exposed in the dark, they left Orion. And some of them went to Maldek, which was the planet that we used to be in between Mars and Jupiter. Some of them went to Earth. So a lot of people, a lot of people here on Earth may have had past lifetimes from Orion. Okay, I'm going to ask, were the space Nazis that left, were they traveling to Orion? I'm getting a no on this, Paul. So they were traveling to someplace else, but I don't know where. Because again, right now, Orion is pretty light. Tiffany Teasdale is saying, I don't fear doing healing. I can see the light after. Yeah. This is one of the gifts of Orion starseeds. They don't fear the light. Or they don't fear the dark. They don't fear their shadows, rather. They don't fear their shadows. Because you know that in transmuting that, you become stronger. In integrating that with yourself, you get to have like the best sides of both worlds. You know how to have compassion for others who have been in your position in the past. That's one of the strongest gifts that I see in Orion starseeds. They're very compassionate. Oh, hello, Millie Della Prida. Driving now. Take care, Millie. White Dragon saying, so the Jedi's won. They did. The Jedi's won. Okay, I'm just scrolling back to see if I missed any questions. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I will. I'll visit the Diana. Mary Black is saying, I love Grogu. I love him too. He's very cute. Oh, yes. Mangled Unicorn is saying, Hero's Journey. It is, isn't it? Like Luke Skywalker's journey from being like a boy who doesn't know anything to saving the universe. It is quite a hero's journey, isn't it? Oh, this is interesting. Mona Lisa Seraphim is saying, yes, Star Wars did reveal it. I was a Pleiadian starship captain. One of my lives. Amazing. Yeah, I don't doubt that. You have that feel, Mona. Mangled Unicorn is saying, Jedis are basically space shinobi. Kind of. I see them more like the Galactic Federation. I mean, the Galactic Federation of Light. And the rebel forces are kind of like the Black League resistance. Those are the parallels that I see a lot. But I mentioned that there was this light side and the dark side, like the Black League resistance versus the Draconian Empire. But there are also people who were kind of neutral during that time. And they have their own set of traumas. They have their own set of experiences that are actually interesting. One of the challenges that those people have had is, I think the most common is being tired of war. Not everyone chose a side during that time. Some of them were actually collateral damage, unfortunately. But it's what I see often. Most of them are collateral damage. So when they get to Earth, when they incarnate on Earth, it's like, oh, why are we going through wars again? This is stupid. It's one of the most common things that I see for those people, for that faction, because they know what wars can bring to people, the suffering that it can give to people. They're not choosy. They don't choose sides, basically. And just so you know, during this Orion Wars, it's not just Draconians and the Grey Aliens who were off the dark, who went to the dark path. There were actually Pleiadians who went rogue and went dark. And it's not just Pleiadians, there were different races. So just because you came from Draco or you came from Grace doesn't mean that you're actually bad either. And it's the same for the other side. Doesn't mean that you're good if you came from Pleiades or say Sirius or Alpha Centauri, perhaps, because there are people who, because of those wars, were actually tempted to go into the dark. Just like how the Jedi warriors were like tempted to go into the dark, because it's in some ways it's easier. They feel like they had no choice but to go there, and it's one of the struggles that those people, when I read for them, one of the struggles that I see is like their guilt that they have to carry because they realize that, okay, I made the wrong choice. I hurt a lot of people. So now what do I have to do to correct those? So those are some of the challenges that I see in a lot of people in that circumstance. Brina is saying the Star Wars movie are painful for me to watch because of the war. Yes. For many people who have had experiences during the wars, and maybe it's not just the Orion Wars, maybe it's also the Lyran Wars, it might be painful, especially when they kind of trigger old memories that you have had in the past. I know many of us don't remember our past lives, but they kind of sip in with our day to day lives. And sometimes it sips in through this way. It's watching films, watch or reading books, seeing things, and being reminded of that past without knowing what it exactly was. But it's having that reaction, like that pain whenever you see war on screen. Maybe that is some triggering memories for you, Brino. Jax is saying, I think more Shinobi Bonzo because there was an element of sneaking. I don't think samurai were into cloak and dagger. Their armor and everything makes them easily spotted. I'm not very familiar with the reference, Jax, but I do know you're interested in samurais. You were one. Yeah, there are parallels between samurais and Jedi's, aren't they? So yeah, if you have any questions about this, please type it in the chat. In the meantime, we'll go to the second part of this episode, the readings. Of course, I know many of you are looking forward to that. So while you're typing your question about the topic, I'm going to read the Akashic Records prayer, so I can open it, and then we'll drop our readings. So let's take 3 deep breaths, everyone. Only the highest frequency of love and light can remain in this sacred space and all objects in this sacred space for the highest good of this group, consisting of myself, those who are watching right now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. Now I call in the highest level of the divine that knows that love is the power and the truth from which we read, our highest level guides and angels to help us with this reading. Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, please hold the sacred space. And so it is. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good, the highest good of all, and the most benevolent outcome. Akashic Records Master, Spirit Guides, and Angels, please let us know this group in the light of the Akashic Records and enable us to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us. The records are now open. Yay! Oh, Brina is saying, you told me on a previous show that I fought with the rebels and was in charge of getting supplies. Oh, I think you mean you were a rebel fighting the Draconian Empire. Yeah, I think I have somewhat a recollection of that. My apologies if I don't remember it exactly. I usually don't remember readings since there are so many by now. But yeah, I think I vaguely remember this. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. An interesting perspective, Jacqueline. She's saying, but on principle, they're more uh, Paladin or Pleiadian because there's certain spiritual direction to it, light or dark. Gray Jedi by the end with Ray. Ah, I love that. Gray Jedi. Someone who has like both sides and has integrated that. It's a very interesting concept. Oh, hello, Akila. I want to answer this question by White Dragon. Um, he's asking, I feel I was involved in Orion at the periphery as an Arcturian. Did Orion join the Federation eventually? I'm getting a yes on this actually, Paul. They actually joined the Federation after the Orion Wars, after they've shifted from darkness to light. And again, the people who wanted to stay in the dark, they didn't stay in Orion. They have their own free will, and so they went to other star systems and planets where they can still have that experience with the dark. One of which was Maldek. Oh yeah. So if you're interested in Maldek, let me know. Uh, Maybe we can do a separate topic for that. It's a whole entire chaos on its own. I both love and hate talking about Maldek because of that reason. It's so interesting, but so chaotic, even more chaotic than Orion. But yes, Orion did join the Federation eventually, and there are Orion star seeds here on Earth helping us now to transmute darkness into light. I hope that makes sense. But I'm also getting that yes, you were involved as an Arcturian. You were part of the Galactic Federation. You didn't interfere directly, but I feel like you were part of the people who were sent to Orion to have discussions. I'm seeing different beings, like kind of looks like Jar Jar Binks, but not exactly. Like they look a lot more dignified, blue skin, very tall. They might be Syrian. I'm going to ask the masters. Is the person Syrian? Okay, they're telling me Syrian descent. You were talking to someone of Syrian descent who settled in Orion. But yeah, you were involved. I'm seeing you talking with some representatives who, yeah, you were involved in the negotiations, is what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that confirms something for you, White Dragon. Okay, hold on. I'm going to draw for people to read, for I'm getting very many interesting questions. Oh, this is interesting. Bonzo Kilborn is saying, never was a fan of the gray Jedi idea. If you are a Jedi, you are fully entrenched on the light side of the Force. If you're gray, you're something else. Interesting. The way I see this, I'm not a fan actually of the recent Star Wars movies. I'm more of the original trilogy fan, and maybe even the second one, even though that wasn't very popular. But the way interpret the Jedi idea in parallel with what I know in the Orion Wars is that many of the people who were in Orion kind of had this experience where they were both exposed to light and dark. And so they were able to integrate both. I think in that sense, they are gray, but they are still of the light, but they carry and they have accepted both aspects of themselves. They have integrated both aspects of themselves, if that makes sense. I don't know if that fits in the Star Wars world, but in the real world, in my real world, that's how I interpret and see it. Oh, thank you so much, Kendra. Kendra is saying, well, what a cool topic. It's May 4th. May the 4th be with you, Kendra. You're seeing my dorky side with some of these topics. Okay, let's draw for people to read for. So I can draw, so I can read for many today. I know you have interesting questions about the topic. I'll draw for 3 people for now. LCGs. Congratulations, LCGs, and please type in your question. Mary Black, congratulations, Mary, and please type in your question. Tiffany Teasdale, congratulations, Tiffany, and please type in your question. So again, that's LCGs, Mary Black, and Tiffany Teasdale. Okay, got your question, LCGs. So we're still waiting for Mary Black and Mary and Tiffany Teasdale. Paul is asking, then was George Lucas involved in the conflict? Well, I can't go into his records without his permission, but I do believe that he's an Orion starseed if he made this entire universe into film. Because the details are just there. It feels so much like Orion that I would have to say, sure, he's an Orion starseed. I don't know if he was involved in the conflict though, or if he was one of the neutral ones. So yeah, Bonzo is saying it's still the third around my way. I'm from the future, Bonzo. I live in Asia. Okay, I got you, Tiffany. So I'm still waiting for. Okay, I got your question, Mary. Okay, I'm not. Mary, I'm not particularly sure of your question. Dream of Black Draco, name of Nagasto. I don't understand your question. But yeah, can you rephrase it, Mary? While you're rephrasing that, I'm going to start reading for the people who are here. Going to start with LCGs, who is asking, can you tell me if I had a past life in Orion and any details about it? Okay. It says the Masters. Akashic Records Masters, did LCGs have past lifetime in Orion? I'm getting a no on this, LCGs. Did she have like a past life experience in Orion? I'm getting a no on this as well. Any involvement in Orion for LCGs? I'm getting a no on this as well. And I'm hearing a message from the Masters. She wanted to avoid the conflict. Prior to coming to Earth, she wanted to be of the light, pure light. It wasn't within her soul path to be exposed to the darkness before coming to Earth. Okay. Is her mission to be an anchor of light here on Earth? Okay, I'm getting a yes on that. This why you didn't come to Orion? Why didn't you incarnate on Orion? They're telling me because your mission on Earth is to become an anchor. It's to be an anchor of energy, and it has to be pure energy. If you had gone to Orion, that energy might have been tainted by something else. So they're telling me, the Akashic Records masters are telling me, it's not within her soul path. She didn't need to go there. It would be better, or it was better for her not to incarnate on Orion before coming to Earth. So if you're not familiar with what an anchor is someone who holds vibration on Earth. It might be a galactic vibration from your home star system, or it can be something else, but it's usually of the light. So yeah, that's your one of your soul missions, LCGs. If you don't know it yet, it's being an anchor. So I hope that helps, and I thank you so much for letting me read for you. And I want to say hello to the new people who are coming in. Hi, Mir Dragon, and hello yesterday today. It's the first time seeing you here, so welcome. And Tiffany Teasdale is asking, I would love a healing, please. Okay, let's do energy clearing for Tiffany. And I'm already feeling something. But before that, just a reminder, this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Please always consult with your medical professionals in matters concerning your health. Tiffany, I'm feeling something in your solar plexus because I keep burping. Is her solar plexus blocked or is it imbalanced? Is it depleted? Okay. I'm working with Archangel Raphael on this. Um, and when we do the balancing, I'll be using the pendulum. So the pendulum doesn't actually do anything. It's the archangels who work on the energy healing. But the pendulum is just an indicator for when the healing has happened. So it's going to start spinning when the healing happens, and it's going to stop when it's done. So I'm getting Tiffany, that your solar plexus is depleted. There's something that happened to you recently where you felt like you lost your self confidence. I'm hearing embarrassment. Someone embarrassed you in public. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Let me know if you can validate that. But that's what I'm hearing: self confidence, embarrassment. And hello, CD Umanli. Hello and welcome. Oh, okay. I got a follow up question from LCGs. I'll get to you later after this clearing. Might be something I can remember. Okay. Something that has to do with families, what I'm hearing. But it's not a blockage, so it's not anything major. It's depleted, is what I'm feeling. So if this is something that you want to be balanced, please type in hashtag yes. If not, type in hashtag no, that's also okay. What you can do so you can keep it balanced in the long run. After even after we do this clearing, you can use yellow crystals like yellow calcite or citrine. Citrine is a lot more common. So if you have citrine, keep that in your pocket. Or, yeah, wear yellow. Where the frequency of yellow also helps. Okay, got you, Tiffany. Other pendulum. I found it. Okay, I call in Archangel Raphael. Please balance Tiffany's solar plexus for her highest good, the highest good of all, the most benevolent outcome. And it's done, Tiffany. I hope that helps, and thank you for letting me do this balancing for you. So if you burped, if you cried, if you yawned, if you stretched, if you passed gas, please know that those are normal reactions to having energy moved from our body. So don't forget to drink water. Tiffany saying, "Thank you, my family else is a lot." Yeah, I didn't go too much into it, but that's what I heard from um, the archangels family. Family embarrassment. Yeah. So the follow up question from LCGs is asking for the home star system. Have we not answered this before? I'm not gonna go too much into it, LCGs, to be fair to others. In Meru, in Pleiades. Did she have past lifetime in Lyra? So, LCGs, your home star system, your origin star system called Merope. It's a star system where we're more focused on spiritual, emotional, mental healing. So I don't know if you're interested in that, in spiritual healing. But that is one of the things that Merope is well known for. So I hope that helps. Okay, next we have. Oh wait, I already did two. So Mary Black. Mary, I'm just going to backtrack if you explain the question. I still don't get it. Oh, it's Tamer here. Hello, Tamer. Okay, I'm not seeing a clarification from Mary Black. Oh, okay, there we go. I was wondering if I met this Draco in Orion. Black Draco. Okay, okay. Did Mary did Mary meet Draconians in Orion? Did she have a past lifetime in Orion? Hmm, interesting. Okay. I'm going to show you the pendulum. Oops. Mary. Did Mary have a past lifetime in Orion? I'm not getting a yes on this. It's not in Orion. How about Zeta Reticuli? Did Mary have a past lifetime in Zeta Reticuli? I'm getting it's more of the Zetas. It wasn't particularly on Orion, but there were Zeta Reticulars or the Gray Aliens. Not all of them, but there were some who were allies of the Draconian Empire. So it's not in Orion where you met that Draconian, but it was in Zeta Reticuli. But you did um, meet that being, if that makes sense. But I hope that helps, Mary. And thank you for letting me read for you. Annie Bear, hi Annie. Swooshing through. I love it whenever you swoosh through the chat and say hi. Thank you for being here. Ah, use all. I've had two visions of humanoid beings. Awesome. Uh, mm, LCG's is saying, Crazy the live froze when you were answering my question, but I caught the name. Nairobi? It's not Nairobi, but it's Merope. I'm typing it in the chat so you can search for it later. There we go. So we have answered all three questions. I'm going to draw for the next set. I starred some of the questions that you were putting through, just in case you get drawn. Okay, there we go. I'll draw for three more people. Bonzo Kilborn. Congratulations, Bonzo, and please type in your question. Tina Bubina. Tina, congratulations, and please type in your question. Last for this round. "12 true are for H." So 12 true, please type in your question. Bonzo is asking, my question is, what question should I be asking? Is there anything I'm not seeing? Oh, that's a very interesting question. I love that. Yes, I'm starring it. We're still waiting for Tina Bobina and 12 True to type their questions. Use all is saying for people in the chat, are you streaming on another platform as well? I stream just on this platform, but there are um, two videos ongoing, or two live streams ongoing. I think you're in the mobile view. There are a lot more people who are watching in the landscape view. So I usually put out two of them. There are people who prefer the mobile view, and there are people who prefer the landscape view, and whenever they're watching on TV. So yeah. Okay. I got your question, 12 true. You have amazing questions. I just love it. So we're still waiting for Tina. While Tina is typing her question, let me answer Bonzo Kilborn's question. Uh, is there anything that Bonzo is not seeing that would be most beneficial for them in this moment, the Akashic Records Masters? I'm hearing gifts. You're not seeing your gifts. So I'm going to ask, what kind of gifts do you have that you're not seeing? Uh, okay, what soul mission is Bonzo doing or supposed to be doing right now, according to his soul plans? Messenger. It's a messenger. Okay, is he doing this mission? No. So, the Akashic Records Masters are calling you out, Bonzo. One of your soul plans was to become a messenger. This is a soul mission, kind of the way you see people on YouTube doing mediumship or channeling. I believe you have the gift for that, but you're not using it, or you're not trusting that you can do it. Okay, I'm going to get more information about that. Okay, why is he not using that gift? Okay, is it mediumship for him? Master, is it mediumship or more of channeling? Channeling galactics or angels? You're well connected with angels, Bonzo. They're telling me angels are with you. And they're communicating with you and you can hear them. But you're not trusting the information enough to pass it over or pass it on to others. It's part of your mission to channel them. Is it more of like giving messages to others or being like a way shower? Okay, it's giving messages to others. Yeah, they're telling me it's you're a messenger. You're supposed to give out messages for others, but it's not something that you're doing right now. But it's something that you can do. So the question for you is, will you answer the call, Bonzo? Will you develop this gift that you have? I hope that helps, Bonzo. I don't know if that's something that you expected. And hello to the people who are coming in. Hi, Satofi. Hi, Dee Marie. Hi. Uh, oh, I've already said hi to 12 True. And I got your question, Tina. Oh, yes. Perfect. Rossi is saying, Bonzo, medium Kim channels angels. She may be able to help you. Yeah, I wasn't getting that it's about mediumship, like connecting with dead loved ones, but more about connecting with angels. And Bonzo is saying, wow, that makes more sense than I want to admit. Thanks. I'm glad it makes sense to you, Bonzo. And thank you for validating that. Okay, next up is a 12 Truths question, who is asking, I would like to know what lifetime is most significant right now, Diane. Okay. What lifetime is affecting? Just to be clear, the most significant lifetime for you right now is the one you're living right here and right now. This current lifetime is the most significant for you because you're here. You can't change the others, but this one you have the power over to change, to shape. So this is the most significant lifetime for you. What I'm asking the Akashic Records is, what is a lifetime that influences you the most in this current one? Okay, 12 true. I just want to make that distinction between those two. Mm. Okay, what lifetime is affecting 12 trues? Current lifetime the most. I'm seeing Egypt. You had a past lifetime in Egypt. Okay, what was she doing? What's she doing in Egypt? Okay, was this a priest? Like a government, like part of the government? What's the box he's carrying? Books? Scrolls. They're showing me a man in Egypt, and he was in charge of some crates that are being carried from place to place. And I'm seeing a pyramid where it's being stored. You were a caretaker of wisdom in Egypt. Okay, is this under the Great Sphinx or a different pyramid? Okay, it's not the Great Sphinx, but there's a different pyramid. You stored scrolls under the pyramid for safekeeping. What were in those scrolls? History. They're telling me history. What was written in those scrolls were history. And during that time, you wanted to safe keep it for the future. So I'm asking, how is this relevant to your present lifetime? Why is it significant to you? Okay. You're a keeper of secrets. 12 true. I don't know if you can validate that. But whenever you learn something, you retain it. You're a fast learner. And you like gaining wisdom. You like gaining knowledge. You're very curious. It's the same way that you were in Egypt because you like collecting scrolls. You like collecting books and reading them. I say books, but they're in scroll form. You did that because it was very interesting for you. And they're telling me it's something that seeps in into this lifetime. The thirst for knowledge, the thirst for truth. So I hope that makes sense, 12 true. But that's what the Akashic Records masters are showing me. You were a caretaker of knowledge. Oh, 12 true is saying, oh yes, I do. I've always found secrets in books too. I am always looking for secret information. I look at my books like children. It's something that you did in your past life too. Like, it's the first time I saw something like that in Egypt. Like, you were safeguarding your books. You were a wealthy man, so you were able to do that. But yeah, it's the first time I saw that. That was very interesting. So thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope that helps. I study anthropology too. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, it was it. And I'm going to use pendulum for this. Was 12 true? Working for the Library of Alexandria. Oh, I'm not getting a yes on this, Rossi, but they're telling me it was something prior. It was like a private collection. He had his own private library. He was that rich during that time. You were rich. 12 true. Okay. Thank you again, 12 true. So next up, we have Tina Bubina, who is asking, okay, my question is, am I also an Orion starseed since past readings were Andromeda? And which or how many stats influence me now? Hope that makes sense. I'm not sure what stats, but oh, you mean stars. You mean stars. Okay, I got it. Just to be clear, if you're a star seed of one particular star system, doesn't mean that you're a star seed of just that one. We might be star seeds of different star systems. Like me, I mentioned that I'm Pleiadian, but I'm also Beta Centaurian or Hadarian. I've also had lifetimes in Sirius and Lyra. So it can be multiple. It's not just one. So if you're an Orion starseed, Tina, it's not unlikely that you're other another type of starseed as well, or you've had lifetimes in another star system. Okay. Hello, Hypnicity, Nalani. Okay, I'll ask the Akashic Records masters. Is Tina Bobina an Orion starseed? Or did she have past lifetimes in Orion? I'm getting a yes on this, Tina. You had at least three. They're showing me three. You had at least three lifetimes in Orion. Okay, which one is the most significant for, or most influences for right now? Can you show me? Was she apart from, was she from the Belt Stars? Okay, not in that lifetime. Then which? Rigel? Okay. They're telling me that you're from Rigel. You weren't from the Belt Stars, and as I've mentioned during the first part of the show, the Belt Stars are the most peaceful. So if you've had lifetimes in the other star systems in Orion, most likely they were at war. Those were the most more chaotic parts of Orion. And for you in Rigel, that's where a lot of slavery has happened. But I'm going to check what kind of lifetime that you had in that because they keep drawing me to Rigel. And they're telling me that it's the one that has most influence over you in this lifetime. Okay, she's one of the people who were neutral. Was she? She was neutral. She didn't choose sides. How did it affect her, please? Okay, was she the mom or was she one of the children? Three. Is the mom also in this lifetime? Or just the three people? Or are they all family now? Tina, do you have siblings right now? What I'm seeing is you in Rigel with three children and a mom. The mom isn't with you in this current lifetime, but your two siblings in that previous lifetime are with you right now. And I'm hearing siblings. I am not sure if they're your siblings right now as well, but I keep hearing siblings, siblings, siblings. Three people. So you're one of three siblings during that time. And I asked what kind of life you live in there in Orion, whether you are part of the rebellion or not. And they're telling me you weren't part of the rebellion. You were one of the people who were unfortunately collateral damage to the war. I'm sorry to say that. But I'm seeing one of the consequences of the war was you being hungry a lot of times because the resources were scarce. I'm seeing something that's not particularly deserty. It's more like mud that uh, kind of got hardened. That's the planet where you came from. Not particularly sandy, but I'm not seeing a lot of vegetation. There wasn't a lot of food where you came from. And it was a struggle for your family during that time. Okay, I'm asking how is this affecting your lifetime right now and they keep popping the word in scarcity, scarcity. Because of that lifetime that you had in Orion and Rigel, you have this scarcity mentality. You think that uh, resources will not last you, that you're not abundant. And the Akashic Records masters are telling me that's not true. In the past, that's what you learned, that's what you were exposed of, or what you were exposed to. But in this lifetime, one of the soul lessons that you're trying to learn is abundance and how it is related with gratitude, how the energy flows, or the energy of abundance, how the energy of abundance flows. It's one of the lessons that you're trying to learn in this lifetime. You're trying to learn that there is no such thing as scarcity. It was an experience you had in the past, but it's not something that's particularly true, especially in this lifetime of yours. Let the energy flow. That's the message from the Akashic Records Masters. Oh, Tina is saying, from biological mother, I'm the baby of three. The other are half brothers, and I have through adoption a lot of step brothers. I'm not getting the adopted step brothers, but some of the half brothers are. They were your full siblings in Orion. How about the full siblings in this lifetime? No, it's the half brothers. Your half brothers were your full siblings in Orion. Is what they're telling me, or at least two of them. Because I'm seeing three children back then. You were very close during that time because you were bonded through the experience of the wars. It's not good experience, but it was a good bonding experience, kind of for your family. There is some sort of togetherness that happened because of the challenges that you had during the wars. So I hope that helps, Tina. And thank you for letting me read for you. Gerald is here. Hi, Gerald. It's one of my favorite people on YouTube. I hope you're doing well, Gerald. I think I've answered all three. So I think it's time. It's time for us to draw for another set of readings. So if you haven't done it yet, the keyword for today to enter the draw for a reading is hashtag Orion. I'll draw for three more people today because I have time. Okay. Leah Omega 8. Hi, Leah. And please type in your question. Next up, Lori2626. Congratulations, Lori, and please type in your question. And last for this round and this episode, Mangled Unicorn Jacqueline. Congratulations, and please type in your question. I'm still muted. I was just saying again, that's Leo Omega 8, Lori 2626, and Mangled Unicorn Jacks. And Gerald is saying, he's doing well. Just finished a series of members only videos. Everyone, if you haven't checked out Gerald's channel, please do. He's an amazing reader and he has started his memberships. So if you're interested in getting those exclusive members only videos, check out his channel. He's an amazing guy, amazing reader. Hot diggity dog, Jax. Yeah, I got your question. So we're still waiting for Leah, but while waiting for her to type in her question, let's start with Lori, who is asking, "What is my sole purpose?" When I read this question, my eyes just focused on the heart because they're telling me your sole purpose is love. It's learning about love, and it's everyone's sole purpose. We incarnate on Earth, and we incarnate anywhere actually in the galaxy. We incarnate because we want to learn about love. We want to learn about ourselves. That is the main sole purpose of why we incarnate. It's learning about love. But I'm going to ask, like, what specific mission you have that you might be missing? So, Lori, what I'm getting is that your soul mission for this period of your life is being a way shower or a teacher. And they're highlighting the word way shower for me a lot. So, usually, this means that you might not be teaching like in the way you see a lot of people like teaching in classes or maybe teaching through videos. You teach people with how you act, you teach people by example. And what I'm hearing from the masters, how you teach, it's teaching kindness to other people. You're you're a kind person, Lori, even when the others around you aren't. And it's a challenge. Sometimes you get frustrated, is what I'm feeling, but you do it anyway because that's what you believe in. That's your principle. And you don't know this, but when you do that, when you choose kindness over like getting mad, getting angry over the littlest things, you're actually showing other people, especially the younger ones, that hey, it's okay to be kind. It's okay to choose kindness. That no one's going to trample upon me if I choose kindness. That's what I'm seeing in the records. That's how you teach. It's through your actions. It's not through words, but it's just as powerful, Laurie. Please keep that in mind. It's just as powerful. So I hope that helps. And thank you for letting me read for you, Laurie. Okay. Next up, we have Mangled Unicorn, who is asking, I know it doesn't matter how many lives we've had, but why have I chosen so few Earth lives? What am I doing the rest of the time? So, for those who don't know the context, Jax has been an Arcturian for a very long time. And then she recently, kind of recently, but it might be thousands of years ago, she recently came to Earth. And I laugh, but yeah, it's one of the rare occurrences that I've seen that people have had few lifetimes here on Earth. Doesn't mean that you're a less evolved soul. If you're interested in this conversation, I did an episode about this here on Soul Cloud. You can check it through the playlist of this of Soul Cloud. I think it's called Young Souls, Old Souls. What's misunderstood? So yeah, check that out. But it doesn't mean that you're less evolved soul, Jacqueline. Okay, you've had plenty of lifetimes in Arcturus. Why? Why has she chosen a few lifetimes? They're popping the word mission. Those are her mission. Okay, how is it connected with her Arcturian lifetimes? I think that's the wrong question. Okay, why few lifetimes? I asked, like, why few lifetimes? And they told me because that's where she's needed. You don't incarnate often, you incarnate every time with purpose and mission. Like, you're a specialist in these missions. That's why you get sent on Earth because you're a specialist. Okay, what's very special about Jax, please? Okay. They're telling me that what's special about you is that you tend to see things from a broader perspective. As a soul, you see things you don't look at the details only. You step back and see the bigger picture and how it is affecting people around you. I think right now as a generational cycle breaker or family cycle breaker, this is very important. Someone needed to fill in that spot who had that gift of seeing things from a broader perspective and not get too drawn into the drama, to the conflict. Or if you do, you still have that ability to look at a broader perspective or from a more general perspective. The person that you are right now needed to have that gift so that you can break the cycle. That's what the Akashic Records masters are telling me. You didn't incarnate on Earth previously because well, there was no point. Because you're a specialist in this, is what they're telling me, Jax. It's a special gift that you have. Yes, you can zoom way TF out, if that makes sense. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Leah, that you got bad news. But if you're still interested in a mini reading, you can type in your question. Yeah, you got drawn a while ago. And yes, I agree, Leah. I hope that Jax is feeling a lot more comfort right now, and I hope that you're healing well, Jax. Oh, you're very welcome, Bonzo. Don't forget to hit the like button if yeah, or subscribe if you haven't done that yet. It helps the channel out to, you know, uh it helps with the algorithm. Mangled Unicorn is saying, interesting. I can say that I knew things my abuser was telling me was wrong, and this is way young, small child age. Yeah, I think if it was another soul who incarnated as Jax, they might not have that perspective. They might be someone who believed the lies. So they needed you, Jacqueline. They needed you in this family, particularly. Okay, I have Leo Omega 8's question, and she is asking, oh, sweet. I would love to know what I signed up for, please. What was my soul's goal? Well, it's difficult to know the goal, per se, because when we look at past lives, it's not just a particular lifetime. There is a progression, there is a soul development. So I don't know what the goal is. Perhaps it is the same as the soul's purpose. It's learning about love. But I'm going to ask what kind of soul mission that you have in this period. She's an inventor. Okay. Or a teacher we show her. A messenger as well. Interestingly, yeah. What I'm getting from the masters when I asked about your soul mission is that in this current period of your life, you're also to become a messenger, or that was your plan to become a messenger. Okay, masters, is this something that Lee is already doing right now? But okay, you're already doing it. You don't have to overthink this. You're already being a messenger, and I'm asking them what kind of messages does Lee have to say or have to deliver, and they're telling me it's not particularly channeling. These are messages that are coming from your higher self, from the experiences that you have in this lifetime, from your past experiences, and they're telling me that this is something that will be helpful for other people. You've had experiences that will be helpful for the younger generation. You're walking so that they can run through our example, through our messages. That's what the Akashic Records masters are telling me. Yeah, you're a messenger, Leah. So I hope that helps. Um, but yeah, you're already doing it. Don't overthink it, Leah. Okay, you're already doing this. Um, and they're telling me it's she's a natural at this. They're very happy about your progression, about this gift that you have. So I hope that helps. And again, Leah, thank you so much for letting me read for you. And hello and welcome, Patty Malarkey. I hope I didn't butcher your name. First time seeing you here. Hello and welcome. We are actually just closing in on the questions. But if you're interested in getting a private reading with me, my details are in the description. And also, I have shows this week in case you'd like to get readings during those shows. The next show that I'll be doing will be on Thursday, or my Thursday, your Wednesday. Wednesday with Linda Gonzalez. It will be Into the Ether. We'll do Akashic Records readings and Oracle card readings during that show. Um, so, yeah, it's at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back doing card readings with Scorpio Sun Tarot. Ah. Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot on Friday. It will be around, I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you missed getting a reading from me from this episode, yeah, you can catch me again on those shows this week or next week. This is a regular Sunday show for the people on your side of the globe. So I'm going to close the records before I forget. So let's close this just as how we began. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. I would like to close by thanking the masters, teachers, and loved ones for the love and compassion. I would like to close by thanking the Akashic Records masters for their point of view. And I would like to close by thanking the divine source for all the knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. Your energy stays with you, and my energy stays with me. Yay! uh, oops. Yes, thank you so much for that reminder, Jack. Smack that like button. And yes, Patty, there are a lot of us in the what we call the WooTube community who are also interested in the Galactics. Rush, hey Rush, thank you for being here and thank you for that. Everyone, please don't forget to leave a comment after the show. Is Star Wars something that resonates for you? I'd love to know that. I've done several readings for Orion Starseeds, so yeah, it's very interesting to see the parallels. But I'd like to hear from you if this is something that resonated for you, and maybe that's what makes this story so powerful. Because sometimes stories entertain us. In this case, Star Wars entertained us. Sometimes they teach us, and sometimes they are there to awaken something that we can't fully explain. Whether you believe Orion Wars were real cosmic history, or maybe symbolic mythology, or simply, a fascinating spiritual lore, what matters most, I think, is what these stories reveal about us, what we feel when we see or watch or read about these stories. Because the core of both Star Wars and many spiritual teachings is the same lesson. You know, power without consciousness destroys. Choosing light over and over dark. Loving ourselves enough to integrate the dark aspects of ourselves and the light aspects of ourselves. Those are the core messages of Star Wars and Orion Wars. And in that integration, I think healing begins when we choose awareness over conflict. And maybe the real battle was never happening somewhere far away in another galaxy for you. Maybe for you, it's internal, or maybe it's just people around you. And it's something that may be happening within each of us every day between fear and love. You don't have to overcomplicate things with light and dark, but maybe fear and love, ego and truth, control and surrender, freedom or slavery. And that choice, that's your force. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. And until next time, I hope that you stay curious about the soul. See ya.